Right. We're going to turn now to Florida, where a police officer is on leave following the traffic stop of a Miami Dolphins player, Tyreek Hill. We have some of that body cam. Take a look.
We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 Damn. What part of colors doing this time? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested.
Body camera video shows an officer pull Hill out of his car by his arm and head, and then two others move in, forcing him to face first onto the ground on a street outside the team stadium. This is just blocks away. Now, the officers handcuffed Hill, and one put a knee in the middle of his back. Hill could be heard telling them that he had just had surgery.
I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we told you what you went to chill, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, don't do, bro. Back up. Hey, come on. Don't do. Back off. Back off. Back off right now. Back off. Back off right now.
Hill was reportedly stopped for speeding on the way to his team's opening game on Sunday. One onlooker was confronted by another officer during the altercation. That is Calais Campbell, a very big man, a football player, a teammate of Tyreek Hill. Now, Hill was later released and went on to score a stunning 80-yard touchdown, as he is known to do. And then, for his celebration, he imitated the handcuffing incident during his celebration in that end zone. But off the field, the detention of Tyreek Hill reignited a conversation about how law enforcement handles traffic stops. And in a post-game interview, Hill said that he was shell-shocked and wondered how different things could have been if he wasn't an NFL player. He also did say that he still supports the police. All right, joining us to discuss, former federal prosecutor Nemo Romani and state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Arenberg. Dave, I'll start with you. I want to get your impressions of this situation. I think there's plenty of blame to go around, at least in my eyes. Your thoughts?
Yes, and it's personal to me because I'm a huge Dolphins fan. I'm from Miami. I live like an hour and a half north. And when I saw this, I noticed that, first off, Tyreek Hill wanted to keep the window up because he didn't want passerbys to see that here's a big celebrity, the Dolphins' best player is having a run-in with police. And so police have the right, though, to get him to put the window down for officer safety, and they have the right to get him out of the car. You have to get out of the car. And when that didn't take, when that wasn't quick enough, they pulled him out. I thought they were too aggressive in pulling him out. I think that they could have de-escalated the situation at multiple times. They didn't, and this thing didn't have to happen like it did. I think that there's this investigation will lead to some sort of sanction against some of the police officers involved. It already has against one, apparently, who's on administrative leave while there's an investigation. But ultimately, this is about de-escalation, and the police officers were too quick to escalate things and to be antagonistic to Tyreek Hill and to throw him to the ground twice. None of that had to happen. This was a traffic stop for speeding and not wearing a seatbelt. Come on.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that's where both sides went wrong. I think there was a certain lack of communication by Tyreek Hill that I think escalated the situation a little bit. But once he they got the message, Nima, and he was ready to comply. He was coming out, he was telling them, hey, I'm getting out of the car. They pulled him out. Seemed to me they wanted to send a message there. And you see that often, and that's where I think sometimes officers get into trouble.
I think that's right, Michael. And obviously, Dave is there in Florida, and he's one of the best, not just because we both learned from Alan Dershowitz and we've been on court TV, but he knows his Florida law, and it's really clear. I mean, Tyreek Hill doesn't have the right to pull his window up. Officers can demand to see his hand. It's a safety issue. And the Supreme Court has made it clear that if officers ask you to get out of the car during a traffic stop, you have to get out. So the question for me is this. Was Tyreek Hill refusing to get out of the car? And I think the answer to that is no. If you listen to the recording, he says multiple times, I'm getting out, I'm getting out. And I think that's where the officers got it wrong. And obviously, they forcibly pull him out. They put him on the pavement. They cuff him. And there's that second incident as well where he's cuffed. He's clearly not resisting. He's not trying to flee or evade them. He's talking about his knee surgery, and they force him to the ground. So I think that's where the use of force was excessive. It's unnecessary. And I think Dave is absolutely right, and you are as well, Michael.
Yeah, and you know, getting out of the car, I mean, I don't know if you guys have a Lamborghini, but it's tough getting out of a Lamborghini. It's very low to the ground. No, I don't have a Lamborghini. So, Dave, So if I hear you correctly, and I certainly don't feel that there are, charges that need to be brought, but I think this is much more of a teachable moment. So I do think there has to be some action by the police department. And I think up to this point, statements by the Miami Dolphins and by Tyreek Hill on some level have acknowledged that things might have gone a little smoother had he been a little bit more cooperative. So what do you think might happen to the officer here, or should happen is a better way to phrase it?
Well, actually, I thought the Miami Dolphins statement, Michael, was really strong, stronger than I thought it would. I thought Tyreek Hill was very conciliatory afterwards. Apparently, he shook hands with the cops at the end of this. The cops finally realized who he was. He was just down the street from the stadium, but none of this had to happen. I do think that the officers who were most aggressive will have some sort of sanction. They're not going to be fired. The police union will have their back, and they didn't, as Nima correctly said, and thank you for the nice plug, Nima. Nima's right that they didn't violate the law because you have to get out of the car if the officer orders you to. You have to at least show your hands for officer safety. You should not put up the window. And when the officer tells you to put it down, you need to put it down. But then on the other hand, you shouldn't throw the guy down and put your knees on his back.
Yeah, they need to realize it's a symbiotic relationship. The community needs the police, but the police need the support of the community as well. And this is not a way to get it, that's for sure.